Good afternoon, Guy Solis, Gentleman's Edge, Denver, Colorado, straight razor sales and service. The name of this video is the Orphaned Razor. I've had this razor for a while now. The guy sent it to me with 3 or 4 other seriously junk razors and looked at them. I says, I can do something with this one. So I honed it and got a hold of him after I test shaved with it and told him I liked it. It shaves well, you know, it's a good razor. And it is a good razor. It's a Solingen from Best DORKO still. So this is a good razor. Anyway, so I'm going to be using that today, but the reason I'm bringing it up and call it the Orphaned Razor is because I've contacted him numerous times and he hasn't responded back to me. I mean, I guess I'll keep it and keep, you know, I'm not going to assume it's mine, of course, but I'm gonna do another shave with it. And I guess I'll just write him a letter. I watched James's video on the aftershaves and I thought that was pretty cool. He mentioned Floyd and the Stallion as being sexy ones, and I do like them both quite well. Usually I pair the Floyd with the Boudalais from Barrister and Man, but if you see my last video, I'm kind of disappointed with it because the scent dissipated. I still use it, but it's just not my I'm just not as eager to use it as I was when I first got it. So I'm going to be using the Razor Rock today. Today's Saturday. I'm going to go get my hair cut. I got my soap blooming, and I'm going to use my Razor Rock Monster. It's a cool brush. I'm going to be using my scuttle. So let me just get some water in there and give it a little dip. The shaverage of the day, to quote Steve Shaves, is the Belgian 1554. It's a black lager. This is a good beer. The alcohol content on this is 5.6%. So let's have some shaverage. Nice 2-finger head. Anyway, let's have a taste. I need to get rolling here. So we're in the middle of March. Everyone is pissed off at Trump, and I'm going after him with a fury. His big thing, the big thing that everyone is so concerned about is the immigration for, well, not the only, the biggest thing, but the immigration thing is a hot topic. But I'll tell you something, you know, this country, this government has been really dragging their feet concerning immigration. And, you know, and it's kind of terrible because, you know, it's so filled with, all this rhetoric is so filled with just junk. I mean, they misquote and they add and they, you know, overemphasize and all this stuff. It's just stupid. You know, even Obama's going to get into the race and try to secure Hillary Clinton, which would be absolutely disgusting. But even Obama goes, well, we're a nation of immigrants. If we didn't have immigrants, then this country wouldn't be how it is. Well, that's very true. But how many immigrants do you think this country can support? Do you think 11 million Mexican immigrants rushing the border, demanding rights of this country is the right way to go economically? I mean, there's something wrong with that country. We just need to fix Mexico somehow, you know. And besides, you know, that's, you know, Obama is a liar. This country isn't made up of all immigrants. You know, my family wasn't an immigrant. And believe me, I'm not a Native American either. So it's kind of annoying to watch this process because it's all against Trump. But you know what? Trump, I don't think he'd be a good president because you know, he just wouldn't be. I'm not going to get into it. But, man, he's got some good ideas, don't he? You know, if it's true that we're really getting screwed over in trade by, you know, Japan and China and Mexico, and that is something that we need to fix, you know. It's a pretty good little lather. This thing builds lathers a little bit differently than my other brushes. Oh, it's really super thick too. I have to add some water to it. But you know, that's what I see. It's not what I think, it's what I see. You know? So when you get all these immigrants that come into this country, I believe I read somewhere that they are given instructions on where to go to. Man, this stuff is really thick with this brush. On where to go to get housing and food assistance and all these things. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not against the humanitarian of the whole thing. I'm just saying, why are we bringing them here instead of solving their problem? I mean, we're spending the money anyway. You know. All right, let's try out the 6/8 DORKO. It's a pretty good little razor. Anyway. I'm trying out a new barber. I don't think I have problems with everything all the time, but, you know, when you find a barber and he cuts your hair well, you appreciate it. And when you find out that he can't cut your hair well consistently, it's simply time to move on. But you know, barbers to me, I find that the best barbers are Mexican barbers. The best hairstylists are Mexican women. That's what I find. I don't know if it's because of my hair, I'm Spanish American, or whatever the case is, but I don't know if it's just like a pleasure to cut my hair because of the fact that my hair lays really cool, as opposed to some thin-haired guy or whatever, you know what I mean? Or what, but that's what I'm finding out. Well, I've always known that, though I haven't just found it out. I'm trying to get out of the habit of running that damn water all the time, but I have to a little bit. But can you imagine if Trump got elected president. He did pretty much everything he said he was going to do with deporting 11 million people. Can you imagine the mass exodus? Can you imagine what that would look like? I bet you then Mexico would want to close their borders. This is a topic I always complain about because it's not so much that they're here. But when I see these 23-year-old guys dressed sharp as a tack, man. I know how much cowboy boots cost. I know how much clothes cost. And they're dressed as sharp as a tack. And their wife is dressed as sharp as a tack. And she's pregnant. And 3 other kids climb out of a $40,000 truck. And they can't even speak English. That makes me wonder what the hell's going on. No respect. Even then, this razor here had a smile or a frown in it, so I had to remove that. So I think it's a little bit coarse on this one. Oh, okay, cold water. Well, I took my Jeep back to my mechanic. He goes, "Hey, what's going on?" I go, "My Jeep runs like hell and the brakes, I think, are locked up." He looked at me like, you know, and I'll tell you something, man. I don't care who it is. I'm not afraid to take someone to court. He said when he gave it to me, he said it was good to go. Plus, I mean, it's doing the same thing. It's doing the same thing. It's like it's missing as when you idle. So it'll sit there and go like that. And it's just like, okay, is this thing going to die or what? So I took it back to him. It didn't have any power. And they didn't tell me they did anything with the brakes. But it feels like the brakes are dragging. That's what it feels like. I know what it feels like. You know, I've had that Jeep for 13 years. This is the reason I hate taking my vehicles to mechanics. You know, it's like a refrigerator repairman. Who knows about the parts in a refrigerator? Who here can tell me how a refrigerator actually works? You know, not very many people, that's for damn sure. So when your refrigerator goes on the fritz and and you call a repairman, right? What's he say? Oh, this piece right here is bad. It costs $45. Well, what did he probably do? Who knows? You know, you don't know. That's the whole point. Ah, I love that stallion scent. I should have named it something better though. Stallion sounds, you know, comedic or something, you know. And it snowed out there again, so we're going to have the heaters on, so I'm going to put on some Gold Bond. I like this stuff. See, my goatee is getting smaller and smaller. So, I love Saturdays with my mama. I call her mama. That's a honorable word. You know, I'll put a little more of the stallion on. All right, so that's the show. Today I ran with the DORKO. See if I can get a good... Don't matter, no one's watching this anyway. Here's my shade bridge for today. It's almost gone. You guys have a good weekend. This is Guy Solis, and remember, every day is a good day for a shave. Take care, man.